The galactic combat arena fell silent as Marcus Chen stepped through the energy barrier, his bare feet touching the scorched sand. Above him, 60,000 alien spectators leaned forward in their seats, chittering and growling in anticipation. The human wore nothing but simple cloth pants, no armor, no weapons, not even shoes. "Impossible," hissed Vextar, the reptilian fight promoter, his scaled hands gripping the viewing booth's railing. "The human refuses all equipment. He says he needs nothing." Ambassador Krill's mandibles clicked nervously. The insectoid diplomat had spent months arranging this demonstration, hoping to secure humanity's entry into the Galactic Federation. But if the human died here today, Earth would remain quarantined, dismissed as another primitive world of fragile flesh bags. "Perhaps we should reconsider," Krill whispered. "The Gorathan has killed 47 champions. No being has ever faced it unarmed and survived." On the opposite side of the arena, massive blast doors groaned open. The crowd's noise became deafening as the Gorathan emerged. 12 feet of crystalline exoskeleton and razor-sharp claws, its 6 eyes glowing like molten amber. The creature had evolved on a death world where gravity crushed most species into paste, where acid rain dissolved metal, where only the most perfectly adapted predators survived. Marcus rolled his shoulders and stretched his neck, ignoring the beast's earth-shaking roar. He'd studied the footage for weeks, learning the Gorathan's patterns, understanding its biology. The alien spectators saw a soft pink creature about to be butchered. Marcus saw a puzzle to be solved. The Gorathan charged, covering 30 meters in seconds. Its claws, each the length of a sword, swept toward Marcus's head in a killing arc. The human dropped into a crouch, the deadly talons whistling over him. As the beast's momentum carried it past, Marcus's palm struck upward, finding the nerve cluster he'd memorized from the anatomical scans. The Gorathan stumbled, its left side going momentarily numb. Confusion flickered across its alien features. How could such a small creature know its body better than it did? "Incredible," breathed General Thox, the military observer from the hegemony. His forearms crossed as he leaned forward. The human studied it. He actually studied his opponent. The beast spun with surprising grace, its tail whipping around like a siege engine. Marcus dove forward, rolling between the creature's legs and striking another pressure point behind its knee. The Gorathan's leg buckled and it crashed to one knee, sand exploding around its bulk. Now the arena erupted in confused noise. This wasn't how these fights went. Champions were supposed to trade mighty blows, to match strength against strength until one fell. They weren't supposed to make the mighty Gorathan look clumsy. The Gorathan's roar of rage shook the arena's foundations. It lashed out with all 6 limbs simultaneously, a whirlwind of death that should have reduced any opponent to bloody fragments. Marcus flowed between the attacks like water, his movements economical and precise. Where others would have tried to block or parry, he simply wasn't there when the strikes arrived. "How is he moving like that?" Vextar demanded. "His species has no combat enhancements, no genetic modifications." Ambassador Krill's compound eyes tracked Marcus's fluid motion. "Perhaps that's exactly why he can move like that. No modifications means no limitations." The human's hand shot out, fingers extended like a spear, finding the soft tissue at the base of the Gorathan's neck. The beast's roar became a wheeze as its breathing apparatus temporarily ceased. Another strike to its solar plexus and the creature doubled over, gasping. But the Gorathan wasn't finished. With desperate fury, it brought both massive fists down where Marcus stood. The human sidestepped at the last instant, and the creature's own strength worked against it. Its fists struck the arena floor with such force that stress fractures spiderwebbed through its crystalline exoskeleton. The crowd fell completely silent now. They were witnessing something unprecedented. A human systematically dismantling their greatest champion without landing a single powerful blow. Marcus circled the wounded beast, patient as a surgeon. The Gorathan swung again, slower now, favoring its damaged arms. Marcus caught the creature's wrist, using its own momentum to guide it off balance. As the beast stumbled, the human's elbow found the nerve cluster controlling its right arm. The limb went limp, hanging useless at the creature's side. "He's not fighting it," whispered General Thox, awe creeping into his voice. "He's performing surgery." The Gorathan tried to retreat, but Marcus followed, relentless as time itself. Another precise strike disabled its tail. A calculated blow to its hip dropped it to the ground. The beast that had killed 47 champions now lay helpless, paralyzed by a creature a fraction of its size. Marcus knelt beside the fallen Gorathan, his hand gentle on its massive head. The creature's eyes, still blazing with frustrated rage, met his calm gaze. "Sleep," Marcus said softly, and his fingers found the final pressure point. The Gorathan's eyes dimmed, and its breathing became deep and regular, unconscious but alive. The arena remained silent for a long moment. Then slowly the crowd began to cheer. Not the bloodthirsty roar they'd given the Gorathan's previous victories, but something deeper. Respect. Ambassador Krill found his voice first. How he managed. Marcus stood, brushing sand from his knees. "We've been fighting each other for 50,000 years, he said simply. "We learned that the strongest warrior isn't always the biggest or the fastest. Sometimes intelligence defeats strength. Sometimes knowledge conquers power." He looked up at the viewing booth where the galactic representative sat in stunned silence. "We don't need bigger weapons or harder armor. We have something better. We have the ability to understand our enemies better than they understand themselves." General Thox's 4 hands came together in their species' gesture of ultimate respect. "The humans," he announced to the arena, "have earned their place among the stars." As Marcus walked toward the exit, he paused beside the sleeping Gorathan. "Rest well, champion," he whispered. "You fought with honor." The beast that had entered the arena was a mindless killer. The human who walked out was something far more dangerous, a thinking predator who had just announced to the galaxy that Earth's children were ready to take their place among the stars. Behind him, the Gorathan slept peacefully, dreaming perhaps of the soft pink creature who had shown it mercy when mercy was the last thing it expected.